Okay, if you are stuck in a scarcity mindset, constantly thinking that I'm not good enough, there's not opportunities for me, I am a failure, the world is against me, feeling like you're always running out of time, not enough money, which can be summarized as a scarcity mindset, then I'm gonna help you here. Because a scarcity mindset is basically the same thing as a survival mode. When you are in a survival mode, that's when you become threat focused, self-critical about yourself and about the world. You think that you're always running out of time. And when your body thinks that you are in some type of danger, it doesn't want you to evolve, it doesn't want you to expand. It wants you to rather contract and stay safe and be the same person that you have been in your entire life. This is when you get imposter syndrome and all of this limiting stuff. So if you want to get out of a scarcity mindset, you need to get out of your chronic survival mode, okay? Because I have been watching so many videos and researching on how to get an abundant mindset, but it has never really clicked in my head, and I was so deep in scarcity. I didn't understand. I was like trying to do these affirmations on positive affirmations, but it didn't really help me. And the reason for it is because I was so deep in a survival mode. So that is the theme of this video, how to get out of survival mode. I'm gonna go through the points that I think is the most important that has been helping me. And there is like two categories, I think, that can put you in a survival mode, and that is the physical and it's the mental. Because it's not always that you feel stressed or that you are having like physical safety problems. Like maybe you actually have a pretty good life, maybe you have the physical safety, but a lot of times it's the mental stuff that puts you in a survival mode. Your beliefs and your thoughts and like your mental understanding about things. So we're gonna start with the physical stuff. The first thing that you need to do if you want to get out of a survival mode and get out of a scarcity mindset and break free from limitation is to slow down. Sometimes slowing down is how you speed up. My dog just got stuck here. Wait. And I have heard about this tip so many times before, that you need to stress less, you need to slow down, you need to do less, you need to take care of your health. But I have never really followed through on it. And the reason for it is because I didn't think that slowing down was going to benefit my success, because I wanted to succeed and get success more than anything. So it didn't really matter for me if I was a little bit stressed. I thought that if I want to be able to get money, if I want to be able to get freedom and confidence, then I need to do as much as possible. So the thing that actually made me understand how powerful it is to slow down was to understand how your consciousness and your internal state are so freaking crucial for you to be able to even get the right ideas and take the right actions. If you want to be able to get something externally in your life, you need to start internally. And I used to be so blind about that. And I just thought that I need to find the right strategies, the right information, the right knowledge. I need to learn as much as possible. And I was putting that on the pedestal. And that was the exact thing that was making me feel stuck, both in my career and in my progress, but also in a scarcity mindset, in a survival mode. Because it was constantly making me so stressed. But the truth is that when it comes to becoming successful, when it comes to reaching your dream life in whatever that is not about who is working the hardest. It's not about who is the smartest. It's not about who knows the right things. It's about who is in the right internal state, so that you can actually observe the right steps and get the right creativity and confidence to be able to take the right actions to get there. And what also helps me understand this even deeper in your brain, what is happening, what's going on, is that when you are constantly stressing and when you are producing a lot of cortisol in your body, that is triggering your amygdala to shrink your prefrontal cortex, and your perspective and your logic on yourself and on your world and on your memories, on your past, on your future. Everything is shrinked there. And that is why you get this tunnel vision. Because your whole system are just trying to look for threat. Your body thinks that you are a prey now. And that is why you get so self-critical, and that is why you get this scarcity mindset of attachment to one single opportunity. Your body are basically treating this client, this sales call, this job interview, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Your body are treating that like a life or death thing, and it thinks that this is my only opportunity, is my only possibility. And as well, when you are very stressed and have a lot of cortisol in your body, that is toxic for neuroplasticity. Your brain does not want to rewire itself, and you become very focused on the past. This is when you get imposter syndrome. This is when you get stuck in your limiting beliefs, your limited scarcity mindset, because your brain basically wants you to be the same person, have the same identity that you have been having your whole life, because it wants you to keep doing everything that have been keeping you alive so far, to keep you safe. Okay, so slow down and do not get tricked by this hostile culture into thinking that if I want to become successful, if I want to become confident and free, I need to work so freaking hard. No. It's not about that. It's about who is in the right internal state. And then of course you need to take action as well. But do not put that on the pedestal. You need to be in a abundant mindset first to even be able to observe the right actions that will get you to an abundant external reality. Okay. The next thing is to take control over your dopamine. I need to drink. If you're constantly feeding yourself with quick dopamine, that is gonna stress your nervous system out as well. And it's so tricky because it feels like you are calming down when you are scrolling on your phone or when you are watching TV every single night. But you can think about it as caffeine. Caffeine is not solving the root problem of you being tired, and it's the same with dopamine. It's just blocking the stress cycle to be able to end. So it's a fake sense of calmness and slowing down. It's just blocking your nervous system to actually truthfully being able to slow down. So do not feed yourself with too much quick dopamine, scrolling every single night, because that's gonna be negative for your survival mode and for your scarcity mindset, and we don't want to have that. Okay, but then we're gonna move to the mental stuff, because a lot of the times it's not the physical that puts you in stress, in survival mode and scarcity, but actually your thoughts and beliefs. So the first thing that has changed my life is detachment. When you realize that what you have been chasing your whole life in achievements and relationship doesn't even exist there. Like what we are looking for in the external abundance is actually just the emotional state of it. We want to feel the emotions of feeling free and love, excitement, freedom, safety, all of these amazing emotions. But those emotions comes from inside of you in the present moment. So this is why you see so many successful people. They seem to have everything figured out, all of the external abundance, but they still do not feel fulfilled and happy. And it's because the emotions can only come from inside of your perspective, inside of your scope. And so my tip for you to be able to get out of this attachment and constantly in this chasing mode, which can put you in survival mode, thinking that you are not complete, thinking that you're not whole, thinking that you are dependent on outer circumstances for you to actually live your dream life in the present moment that you feel basically so attached to, like, I need to reach all of my external goals for me to feel complete. That can put you in a survival mode and stress and just a low state. So what I am asking myself when I'm falling into this attachment is that I'm asking myself, what do I think I am missing? And then I just brain dump everything that is coming up, and then I'm asking myself, what emotion do I think I'm missing? Is it love? Is it freedom? Is it safety? And then I'm asking myself, how can I give myself those emotions right now? And I understand that we need, of course, to have money and freedom of time to feel externally free. That is important as well, but do not put that on the pedestal, because, as I said, there is so many people who have the freedom of time and money, but they do still not feel free and complete. So do not put that on the pedestal, because the truth is, when you create those emotions internally, that will reflect over time for you to get those things that matches externally. So what you are lacking externally is basically what you are lacking internally. And when you wake up from this illusion of chasing external things to make you feel complete, it's just gonna make you feel so grounded and safe, and you're gonna be able to have such an abundant mindset when you realize that you literally have everything you need inside of you. And the beautiful thing with understanding this kind of detachment is as well that you realize that I have everything inside of me to get what I want to have outside of me. Because when you are able to give yourself the emotions of freedom and love, even though you do not have the romantic relationship, even though you're not a millionaire right now, when you can produce those emotions in the present moment, you will first of all feel so safe and so grounded and so peaceful. But this state will also make you be able to observe and get ideas and creativity and confidence for you to be able to get the external things that will match on your internal state. So that understanding, that mental reminder of detachment, understanding that what you are looking for outside of you is actually the emotion, and you ask yourself, how can I give myself that emotion right now? That gives me so much peace and power. I feel so grounded, but I also understand that abundance is at the tip of my finger. The emotions of abundance can be created from inside of me. I don't need to have all of the external achievements for me to feel free, for me to feel happy. It's literally at the tip of your finger, and when you just bathe in that emotional internal state that you have been chasing on the outside, that is when, as I said, you get the consciousness that are able to observe the right actions and ideas to be able to get you to the external abundance as well that you want to have. So that gives me an abundant mindset as well. And the last point to get you out of a survival mode on the mental level is to detach from your limiting beliefs. A lot of the times it's most of the times, at least for me, it's the limiting beliefs that are biting me to a survival mode. And we can go very deep on this, like this could be a whole another video. But what I want you to understand in this video is why you have the limiting beliefs, because that will make you understand also how to break free from them. And when I understood this, I felt very free, and I stopped identifying myself with my limiting beliefs, and I understood that it's just my armor. It's not the true me. It's just my body who are trying to protect me. Because the truth about limiting beliefs is that they are protection mechanisms. When you have been experiencing threatening events in the past of rejection, abandonment, abuse, humiliation, failure, your body feels threatened. So the thing that your body want to do then is that it wants to compress this event into a single identity of I am not good enough, I am not worthy, I am not smart enough, to prevent you from going out in rejection and all of these threatening emotions again and experiences. And the dangerous thing with this is that your brain loves to trick you into thinking that this is the absolute truth about who I am. This is like who I am at the core. But the truth is that your brain are compressing information. It's just a compressed story. So for example, if you were rejected in school, that you did not have a lot of friends, and your brain have been creating this identity of I am not good enough, people don't like me, I am not a social natural, like I can't speak to people. You can get a lot of limiting beliefs from that. But the truth is that there is so many factors that played a role in that event happening to you. For example, maybe you were a people pleaser, maybe you were lacking boundaries, maybe you did not have a lot of skills about human communication yet. Maybe there were people projecting their insecurities on you. Maybe you were just not aligning with the people in your class. Like, there are so many factors that played a role in you being rejected, in you being the one on the outside. But your brain doesn't want to look at them. They just delete them. And it wants to create a single identity, a contracted story that I am the problem. I am not good enough, to prevent you from going out there again. But the truth is that it's just a story. It's just a limited story. And your subconscious mind, here is the also tricky thing with your limiting beliefs, is that a part of your subconscious mind actually finds pleasure in your limiting beliefs. A part of you actually finds pleasure in scarcity and in not feeling good enough. Because there is a part of you who feels safe with having that belief. For example, I have for a long time had the belief that I'm not good enough. And the underlying subconscious pleasure that I have been getting from that is that I feel safe. Like, I'm not putting myself out there. I don't have the responsibility. I can't disappoint people. Like, there's all of these unconscious pleasures in your limiting beliefs. And the powerful thing is, when you do shadow work and you dig into this story, you understand that it's just a compressed story, and you understand how your body have just been trying to keep you safe, and you give yourself compassion, and you realize that it's not the truth about who I am. It was just my body was trying to keep me safe, and you stop fighting yourself. And as well, there is a famous quote from Carl Jung who said, "One does not get enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by bringing your shadow into the light." And that basically means that when you take this unconscious pleasure, for me, when I have not thought that I'm good enough, I have had an unconscious pleasure of not taking responsibility, not exposing myself to failure and rejection. It's a sense of safety. And when I expose this unconscious pleasure and bring it to a conscious pleasure, when I, in a weird, kinky, crazy way, just enjoy not feeling good enough, when I just bring that unconscious to the conscious and realize that, wow, it's actually kind of cozy to not feel good enough. I know it sounds really weird, and I really want to make like a whole video about this, but that is so powerful. When you give yourself the pleasure and the safety you have been fighting against so long and thought that this is something wrong with me, feeling guilty for it, that is when you take back the control. And that is when you can take conscious control over your life, and you realize that your limiting beliefs are bullshit and they stop hurting your nervous system and putting you in a scarcity mindset. And you realize that the people who are confident, they are no gods. The people who are running these businesses, the people who are successful, the people who have loving their bodies, the people who have the external dream life that I want to have. They are no different. They just have an abundant mindset. They just have another set of beliefs. And when you understand that your limiting beliefs are bullshit, it's just a limited story, you also realize that of course I can do it. Of course it's possible. When you understand detachment, when you slow down, when you take care of your dopamine, when you bring back the connection to your emotions, and when you make your body feel safe in all these kind of ways, and you get out of that chronic survival mode, take back the power of your internal state and your nervous system. That's when you get an abundant mindset, and that's when you break free from limitation. So I hope it helped you.